Hello, this is Uncle Jim. I got a wild hair today to hit some water jugs, and I want to test out some 44 Special in the lever action and keep it quiet enough so it doesn't blow your ears off, and see if I can get a mushroom with a hollow point Keith bullet. So let's see what happens. So using a different powder today, and I'm going with 7 grains. Just it's probably on the light side, but I want to keep on the quiet side. Let me check my volume here. And on my scale is perfect 0. That's what this thing weighs when it's empty. Okay, so volume wise, we'd be about here and here. So there's still plenty of space there. You don't want too less and you don't want too much. So 7.5, even 8 would probably be good with this light of a bullet because it's a hollow point. And this jar is almost empty. So let's do a little scoop here. We're just about out of this stuff. I have others. They have friends, but so what we're doing, 7 grains. Okay. So I'm just making 2. I'm making 1 to hear what it sounds. Up, jump to 7.1. Let's make sure our 0 is right. It's flickering. One kernel of flickering. Typical. You turn the camera on and everything goes to hell. All right. So we're using George Jetson here. Oh, yeah. And so now I'm loading 2 rounds here. One is to see what it sounds like. It's probably going to have a sonic crack with the 16.5-inch lever action because the bullet's kind of light. So normally the Skeeter load would be 7.5 grains on a 245 to 250 grain Keith bullet. Since this is a hollow point, this is 229 grain. Okay, so we're gonna be on the light, very light side, and I just want to see if we get some kind of mushroom. Otherwise, I can go back or forth. If it shreds, I can go back a little. If it doesn't mushroom properly, I can go forward a little. Okay, so checking my charge here. There's lots of volume left. You don't want too little, you don't want too much volume. You come into issues with both. Now, I got these from Kenny. Kenny made me up some hollow points with the Keith bullet, the 429, 421. And I don't have that mold in a hollow point. I have the standards. That's what I've been shooting in previous videos here. And it's tack driving. It's probably my favorite. And so, well, I like the cranky mold too. That's a Keith style, and yeah, we got to talk about that. The cranky mold, Cranky bought me a mold for my birthday years ago. Let me grab this. See, I'm turning into a rambling. Okay, so this is the cranky mold, Keith style, Arsenal. And the thing I like about this is sometimes your lever actions, when you have like a Keith bullet or bigger, longer from where it's crimped, you can have cycling issues because it's almost too long to carry up. It's dragging on the frame. The neat thing about the cranky mold is from the crimp to the head is just slightly shorter, and that makes all the difference in full-size 44 Magnum. And so I love that. The rifle is going to love that, so you don't have to worry about that. And then when you have a hollow point, it seems like it's just, once this is seated, it'll be just right, so it cycles full-length 44. Now, in 44 Special, you don't have to worry about nothing because it's a shorter shell, just like shooting 38s through your 357. And I prefer to do that suppressed. So my 357 suppressed lever, most of the time I shoot double-ended wad cutters. It's just too fun. It's too quiet. It still thumps. And so this is why I'm kind of focusing on 44 Special right now. I've already shot Magnum. I've shot the same non-hollow point bullet in 44 Special, and it's hitting the swinger every time. So now I want to see if I can get a mushroom and be quiet, and that would be a great round for whatever, critters or even self-defense. So I think in a pistol, I'm just going to guess. In a revolver, this is probably like a 6-inch revolver. It's probably at my altitude 980 feet per second because the bullet's lighter, because it's a hollow point. If it was a standard Keith 245, 250, it'd be more like, well, say you were 9.5 grains. It would be more like 950 feet per second. But since we have a longer barrel, we're going to have, I'm probably going to get a sonic crack. And that's why I'm loading two. One to shoot the jugs, and the other one to hear how loud it is. Now, indoors or close range, when I hit milk jugs, I don't hear a sonic crack at all because it's already hitting whatever it's hitting. So the theory is indoor, if you had to use this, you got 8 rounds in your lever with a can on it. No one's going to hear it in the house. It's not going to be loud. So I don't know if I'm making any sense today. So let's seat these bullets. I'll seat them to the crimp groove. I'll give him a medium crimp, like a rifle crimp, not so much like a full-up Magnum revolver crimp where you're worried about bullet coming forward or anything. Medium-ish crimp, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's do a little more rambling. For one, my bench is a total mess. For two, I was using regular Keith bullets that were 431 diameter. Now I'm using 432 diameter because I had these hollow point size for my Marlin. And the other lever action doesn't mind 431. So I had the crimp set. It's almost a good or a flare set for that. It's basically pretty good. So I backed off my cedar because I'm using a different bullet and I'm just using a flat stem. And then we'll bring her down to Chinatown until I get to that top crimp groove. So I can go down quite a bit now. And then we'll set her there, okay? The other rambling is I screwed up. These are my 44 Magnum dice, and I had them set. So I screwed them all up, making them 44 Special, because I didn't want to use my old 44 die set, which has a note in it for RCBS or whatever. And these I got at a thrift store. These are from 1970, and they're non-carbide, so you got to lube the cases. I didn't want to deal with that, but I should have just done this because I would have been good to go. And now I got to set this set back to 44 Magnum, so that's kind of sucky. So I'm just going to sneak up on the crimp groove here, and we're very close, so just a little bit here. Yeah, that's close. The other thing, this is, see this? The only 44 Special brass I got at a thrift store, and some of them are kind of nicked up. They've been around the block many times, but they were cheap. And some of these don't slide out of the shell holder too good because they're kind of nicked up. Probably from hitting gravel and stuff. So I'm very close to the crimp, and we're rambling. Let's try this. And again, I'm just using a flat stem, which I prefer on the hollow points because it gives you a nice sharp edge. I'll show you that in a minute. I think we're really close here. And then on my dies I have here, I file a line in them, so I have a reference mark. This Lee is not filed, I don't know why, it's just got a marker on it. Oh, the other thing, this set was missing the lock nut, and I just went to the hardware store and got a bigger one, because I got these used, probably a thrift store also. These are RCBS. So I got the bigger nut of the same thread, and I prefer that because I can control it with my fingers. So there's that. All right, we're still rambling. This is going to be another 20-minute video. Oh, and I dropped it. Elvis ammo. Probably put a ding in that, but this is going to be the one just to test for sound. Okay, that's close enough for the depth. We'll try the other. All right. Okay, we're going to use the one I didn't drop on the floor and ding the nose of for the milk jug test. All right, and then, yeah, I think we're close. I like to, if I'm just doing some test loads, I like to spin it once. When you start seating, just barely get that seated in there, make sure it's straight, and then turn it to make sure it's concentric. Now this one here could go a little lower for some reason, because we're just setting up here. So I'm just going to give this a kiss, and that's probably good enough. I don't want to dink around too much. Okay, we'll come to the crimp. I'm going to back her out because this is a slightly different bullet. It's a little high on the crimp groove, or a little, it's in the middle. I could have gone higher, but it's good enough for a test here. Yeah, some of these rims get dinged up on the gravel, and you can always clean them up, but I'm not doing that right now. Okay, that is probably just right for a lever action, but I'll go a little more. Make sure we delay that bullet from coming out of the brass. And that's pretty good. I could have gone a little bit higher, but this has an ample amount of crimp groove, so we just tucked over that bottom base, and I think we'll stick with that. I'll mark this one milk jug. Let me go back to this one and crimp it. I'm going to spin it once anyway. See what that crimp looks like. Yeah, that is perfectly fine for a lever gun. All right. Oh, we're using Winchester large pistol primers for both standard and Magnum. I like these because you don't have to worry about either. So if you got Magnums, it works. And they've been good to me. Okay, so I marked the one that didn't fall on the floor and ding the face. Uncle J, Uncle Jug. All right, so Kenny, who is Eagle Eye Shooting on YouTube, sent me these bullets years ago, and when he casted them, they were 8 BHN. He's got 8% tin in there, and I sized him 4.32. Now, they've gotten harder after that because, you know, they sat. So I did a fingernail test. They're harder. They're probably 10 BHN, maybe more. And we'll see what happens. Now, in previous videos, before my channel got deleted, I did tests on this in 44 Magnum, and they mushroom beautifully. So let's see if they mushroom going slow. But he makes awesome bullets. The hollow points are perfect. This one got dinged on the floor. So that's our sound test, and this is our jug test. All right, thanks, Kenny, and thanks, Cranky. We got to do a test on that mold, too. Okay, now we're having thunderstorms. But I'm going to test out the first load to see how quiet it is. It's going to bounce off the garage and be louder, but at least I can see. I'm getting wet already, so I'm going to have to wait till it stops raining for the jug test. And we'll see how loud this is. I'm going to rest my arm against the door here. Okay, it wasn't too loud. There was a sonic crack. We hit the swinger. But son of a bitch, I can't get a break. My can's wet. Luckily, this rifle is Cerakoted, so I don't have to worry about that. So if it was blued, yeah, I'd have to go wipe her down to Chinatown. All right, I'll wait till it stops raining, then we'll hit milk jugs. Okay, blew the snot out of the first jug, blew the second jug pretty good, and I think we have a bullet in number 3. So there's that. I see slight mushroom through the glass there, and I'm trying not to get hit by lightning, people. I know I can be a prick, and a lot of people want me to die by strike by lightning. That's appropriate, but you're gonna have to wait and dance on my grave later. All right. I see a mushroom in here, and I see a particle in here. So third jug, hit it right center, and let's see what we got here. Try and make this quick. Okay, I think we did frag. All right. So this must be to that, and this must be to that, and then we got a little mushroom here. So even going slow, I could turn this down a notch and make it super quiet and get a mushroom. All right, we'll go in and weigh that. Okay, this is what we got, and I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it to frag. I was just hoping it expanded at those speeds. So I didn't chronograph, but I thought it went sonic out there, so it had to be like 1100, something like that. So the base itself mushroomed a little bit. Okay, and we still have good powder coating, as I said before. And milk jugs, it'll tear off your powder coating. And then these are the fragments. I gotta show you these frags because going this slow, that is devastating. And then this is what I found out there while I was dealing with lightning. So I didn't want to be out there too much. This one's half lead, half rock. Okay. And then I had a piece of the milk jug that it took with it. Okay, so we got 208.8, and it was originally a 229, so I didn't recover it all. But that is pretty that's pretty good. I really love these huge chunks that came off of here, so if that's your thing and you want frag, now this tells me I could go a lot lower feet per second, or I could go with the frag because the frag is awesome. Look at these huge chunks, and that is 44 special. So let's measure. Let me turn this off. Let's measure the base of the bullet, which actually mushroomed a little bit. Okay, and I'm hurrying out there because I don't want to get struck by lightning. 486, it was a 432 diameter, is that what it was? Okay, 486.5, 481, 484. All right, so that is awesome. Check out these chunks. I was totally surprised it would have fragged at that speed. Okay, so here's the carcass right here. I hope you found that interesting. All I was wondering about is, am I going to get hit by lightning and that's the end of Uncle Jim? And some of you would appreciate that, but you'll have to dance on my grave later. Until next time, thanks for watching.